Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for our weekly track roundup, my thoughts, my opinions on a bunch of songs that have dropped over the past week or so, whether I loved them, hated them, or felt somewhere in between. They're all linked down below so you can check them out for yourself. If you're curious, I hope you are, because I'm going to be telling you some stuff that I think you should check out in this video, so pay attention. Also linked down below is our Turntable Lab link, affiliate link. If you buy some vinyl, some turntable stuff over there, we get kickback from it. Also, our Patreon page is down there too. If you guys want to get some extra bonus monthly content while supporting us in the process, that's an option as well. Access to our Discord community too. Our shorts page, which is awesome and also entertaining, is linked down below as well. We've also started doing some short reviews on this channel too. You can actually check the shorts sections on this channel, on this main YouTube review channel. We're going to be doing short reviews every week throughout the week. As long as you guys dig it and are into it and like it as an idea and a concept, I think it's been going pretty well. The reception I've seen so far has been positive. So yeah, there you go. Cool. All right, worst tracks of the week. We have a handful of those. They are as follows. Starting with this new one from Lil Texas and Pinotello. I mean, in their defense, I don't think it's meant to be super serious. It's kind of like, some SpongeBob music, but with like hard style bass hits over it. The mixing is awful. The grooves are not really there. It just sounds like a total goddamn mess, but it seems kind of like a novelty song. Seems like they're kind of taking the piss on this one. So, I don't think it's meant to be the best song. Especially attached to Lil Texas, I'll say that. All right, we also have a new one from Lil Tay. Lil Tay is back. The Troll is back. The Youngest Flexer is back. Sucker for Green is the name of this new track. It's basically a Dua Lipa song. Just kind of sounds like Dua Lipa. It's a Dua Lipa track. It's a watered-down Dua Lipa song about money. And that's pretty much all you need to know. All right, moving on. Gail has a new one out as well. I don't sleep as good as I used to. It might be because the music is really annoying. If the music was not so annoying, then sleeping might be easier, because this is grating as hell, and I could barely make it through the track. I will say that. All right, and Cher, currently gunning for the bragging rights to have my least favorite Christmas song of all time. I mean, right now it's Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney, of course, because that track is one of the worst musical experiences you could wish to have during the Christmas season. And now Cher is hitting us with, DJ, play a Christmas song. Oh God. And it is terrible. Like the glitzy house instrumental. I mean, she's really trying to live the glory of Believe how many years later at this point, and it's just not sounding good. And now it's Christmas too on top of it. Now it has to be that, and on top of it also be a Christmas thing. I just don't really know if that is necessary. It is tacky, it's overproduced, and just thinking of the context of and I'm ranting here, thinking of the context of where a DJ would be, what, at the club, at a party, at some kind of gathering, at a rave, and what, they're dropping house beats and shit like that, and you're just gonna walk up and be like, hey, DJ, I know we're having a great party here and everything, I've been really vibing to the tunes and the transitions and all that, but can you play a Christmas song, put on a little Santa Baby in the midst of all these 120 BPM kicks and so on and so no. Leave the DJ alone. The DJ is not in the Christmas spirit, okay? Let's move on. Okay, meh. The tracks I was on the fence with, but still wanted to shout out, you might like them more than me. They are as follows. We have this one over here from TK Maidza, latest single from her upcoming LP. And, it's got some sweet grooves to it. And I like the Amber Mark feature on it as well, but it does kind of sound a little bit like, very pillowy dressing room music, or just kind of stuff you'd hear pumped out of the speakers at the mall. Definitely not her boldest work, I will say that. The name of the track is Out of Luck. All right, moving on. We have Suffocation, second single from their forthcoming LP. These guys are a classic technical and brutal death metal band, and they're sounding fine at this point. I mean, a tad bit overproduced, but it's loud, it's hard hitting, it's flashy, it's nutty, it's over the top. Pretty much what most people are looking for from their tech death these days. We also have a new one from Omar Apollo, which I think the instrumental on this one is a little basic, a little plain, but I do think this is one of Omar's most impassioned vocal performances in quite some time, and also the vocal harmonies on the track are very nice too. Live For Me is the name of the cut. Moving on from there, Noah has come through, Noah Kahan has come through with a new version of the song Calls Me Back that has Casey Musgraves on it. And, while I like Casey's addition to the song, I have to admit, I haven't really dug into this track prior to Casey being added to it. And I'm just not seeing what is so stunning about this record, as it's one of the more talked about in the country scene, this year. And while it's not bad, it just kind of reminds me of 2000s era indie folk music with a slight country twang. And while it's not bad, I'm just surprised it's generating the hubbub now that it is in 2023, because again, the indie scene was on this sound decades ago, and now it's kind of back with a vengeance and reaching an entirely different audience, but somehow completely disconnected from whatever. There's too many layers to it that I'm still trying to decipher. All right, moving on from there, shout out to Megan Thee Stallion, who has a very silly, tongue-in-cheek, over-the-top song on this upcoming Dix the Musical record, which I'm looking forward to the movie. It looks super entertaining and, completely preposterous, frankly. The name of the track that she is on is Out Alpha the Alpha. All right, moving on from there, we have a new one from Laura Jane Grace, singer-songwriter of Against Me fame. And while, I appreciate the concept of the song and what it says about, self-identity and gender identity and comfort in one's own identity and body, I think there's a lot of lyrics on this one that just feel a little too on the nose, to the point where it just kind of hits in a somewhat awkward way, but that's my opinion. Moving on from there, it's a very kind of raw, straightforward, folk punky type of cut though. So if you're looking for that kind of anthem, you might dig on it. We also have a new one from Kevin Abstract, who has come through with a bit of album art looking like a Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared extra. The song is titled Blanket, and it's this really short lo-fi bedroom indie rock motif that's kind of heavy, kind of loud. It's not much of a song, it's more of a riff, it's more of a vibe. Would be interesting to see Kevin go in this direction artistically, but I don't really know if is he going to be songwriting with these types of aesthetics or something like that? I guess we'll have to see. It feels like a taster at the end of the day. It feels just like a taste of maybe what's to come. All right, we have Dolla Saving Up. Pretty cut and dry, fun, bouncy little house track. Nothing that's kind of reinventing the wheel or defining anything new or exciting in the genre, but, still well put together, and it's got some decent grooves to it. We have Chromeo, who are sounding very smooth, very sensual on this new cut of theirs, Personal Effects. Very cute song about, kind of leaving things behind after, a romance, so on and so forth. I feel like they're kind of painting by the numbers at this point and really, just kind of sticking to their guns. I think they've come out with more exciting and daring stuff in the past, frankly, but it's still sweet. It's still fun. It's still that sensual synth funk Chromeo vibe that fans have come to know and love. We have blink-182 managing to come through with a pretty decent single here. I mean, I'll say this. I don't quite get from them the ole, ole, ole chorus thing, honestly, but this new track over here, Dance With Me, is some decent pop punk. I didn't think the band would come out with a song that had, this many teeth to it ever again. And look, it's Blink-182. It's pop punk music. keep your expectations measured here. I'm not saying this is like a freaking, a hardcore punk song or anything like that. Obviously, there's way harder and crazier punk music out there, but, this does at least call back quality-wise and energy-wise to some kind of old vibes in the Blink catalog, and I think that's a good thing. All right, best tracks of the week. We have a handful of those. They are as follows as well. But bam, starting with this new one from Denzel Curry, Woo with PlayThatBoiZay, and Chief Pound. And it's kind of a trap banger with a very repetitive, woo refrain that it gets quite sticky, quite fast. It's a vibe. I think it's one of Denzel's catchiest songs in a long time. Maybe not as hardcore and as lyrical as some of his fans, like from him or expect from him. But, it's good to remind everyone that he's a versatile artist who can, come out with a catchy bop that's, just kind of silly and surface level if he wants to, and it still goes. All right, we have a new one from Wiki and Tony Seltzer. It's pretty straightforward lyrical hip hop cut with a raw and slightly dirty beat. I'm liking it. We also have Sleater-Kinney. I'm kind of confused here, honestly. What was happening in 2021 to where Sleater-Kinney came out with a record? I didn't even know. Like, I completely blocked new music from them out of my memory after that record that they dropped that was so bad that Janet left the band. I don't even want to remember that album, honestly. It was so mid and so disappointing. But our first taste of this forthcoming album, Little Rope Hell, is actually really heavy. It's vicious. It's passionate. It's got some badass guitar work on it. The vocal performance sent a shiver down my spine a little bit. This feels like, the Sleater-Kinney going in a good direction again. And, I'm hoping that continues with subsequent tracks as they come out from this forthcoming album. This is me sounding excited to hear, Kinney's music once again. So, hopefully we continue down this path with the new material. All right, we have a new one over here as well from Andrew Savage, and it's David's Dead. He has a new record out now. You may know his singing and songwriting from many a Parquet Courts album. He has a solo record out now. I don't want to say too much about it because I am planning on, reviewing it, talking about it, covering it at some point. Just give it a listen. It's a nice combination of singer-songwriter music and garage rock, modern kind of punky garage rock music. So yeah, look it up. Listen to it, ba-bam. All right, next. Also want to shout out this new Paramore Remixes album. Basically a myriad of really cool and interesting artists taking songs from This Is Why, and again, either doing remixes or covers, all kinds of different revisions. I specifically want to point toward this Wet Leg cover of C'est Comme Ça, which is so damn good. This is a Wet Leg song now. It's a Wet Leg song. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how many times Paramore plays it live. It is now a Wet Leg song. So whenever Paramore plays it, they're doing a Wet Leg cover. And that's just facts at this point. It's the law. And I decided it. I'm sorry. All right, moving on from there. We have a new one from Mac DeMarco, who is teaming up on this cut with, I didn't even know he was still around, Italian artist and songwriter Ryan Paris, who's known for that Dolce Vita type cut. And he brings a certain kind of sensuality to this new song over here that they did together, Simply Paradise. That's pretty cool. It's complimentary. It's smooth. It's fun. It's passionate. It's maybe a little tropical as well to an extent. I like it. It's good. All right, Joanna Sternberg brings us once again some really earnest and beautiful and heartfelt songwriting with the song Neighbors. Liking that a lot. And, shout out to Fat Possum for continuing to, support Joanna because, I think they're coming out with some fantastic music. So, all right, Janelle Monae, Champagne Shit, coming through with a remix of the song from her their latest record. Latto and Quavo. on the track. And yeah, you know, given kind of like the reggae trap flip direction the song originally went in, it was kind of right for a remix. I mean, it should have had some rappers on to begin with. I feel like the song actually would have been a little improved if this was the first version of the track that we heard, and it just would have made sense given the production, given the vibe on it anyway. And you know, I think Quavo and Latto provide some complimentary verses to the whole thing too. We have King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, who have a new record on the way, Silver Cord. They've given us 3 tracks from it to taste, the first 3 songs from the record, and I'm really liking at least a couple of them. Theia, I thought, was an okay tone setter. Things really ramped up with the title track, and then Set is giving us like some speedier grooves, a freaking rap verse too, which was sort of surprising, but still went really well. You know, look, if this record shapes up to be what it's seeming to be from these teasers, this will be the band's most electronic album yet. It seems to have a lot of driving beats, a lot of synths, a lot of effects, kind of some krautrock influence too. You know, they're not like, you know, doing, at least from what they have displayed so far, you know, some crazy techno or any stuff like that, but who the heck knows? It's King Gizzard. They, like literally anything could happen on this record. We'll just have to see. But yeah, you know, they're dabbling in more synths. They're dabbling in more electronics. It's yielding some interesting results. And apparently like the full or extra version of this record that we're going to get when it comes out extends the runtime of all these songs massively. So, you know, there's going to be kind of like maybe an improvisational or, you know, like an extension to a lot of these tracks that's, you know, gonna be interesting for sure. For sure. All right. Drake, For All the Dogs. It's out now. 8 a.m. in Charlotte. Reviewed it on the Fantano channel. Loved it. Think it's a great track. Don't want to talk too much about it, though, because I am going to review this soon. And finally, Asop Rock has come through with another single for his forthcoming album. This one, titled By the River, is literally about rivers, running bodies of water, and how interested in them he is. And honestly, it's pretty fun. All right. All right, and I'm not messing with you. That is quite literally what the song is. All right, that's the weekly track roundup. Hopefully you guys got some good recommendations out of this video. You're the best. Love you. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. That's it. Mwah. Bye.